my channel, thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here, hello. My name is Ashley. I run things here at Oak Crow Gal, and it's time for part 2 of my Tipsy Q&A. I am, per usual, very excited. I love talking, but what I love even more is answering questions because it's like guided talking. It's like talking with instructions. And I'm all about instructions and parameters. So I'm just pumped to film this today. I like never want it to end, and it might not. This is probably gonna be like a 3 or 4 part series on my channel because there are so many questions. Like I mentioned in the last installment, I really wanted to answer everyone's question, even the questions that were repeated. I wanted to just like, you know, say them and then be like, oh, I already answered that, just because I want everyone to feel acknowledged. But y'all, if I did that, this would be like 13 videos long. This series would be like 13 different videos because there are so many questions. There are over 100 questions, and just time-wise, I don't have time to read all of them, repeated questions included. So that's that. The other thing I want to mention is that I did not pre-read any of these. You know, we get, like, if you're a creator, you get notifications when somebody comments on your video, but like I didn't like go through and read every single one and then be like, this is how I'm gonna answer this question. So some of these might take me a hot minute. Like I said, it is a Tipsy Q&A. So I have my beverage right here. This is a vodka soda. It's a shot glass worth of vodka, the key lime LaCroix, and a lime wedge. I love that as like an alcoholic beverage option because it's 0 carbs and it's less calories than wine. Y'all know I love my wine. I love my bubbles. I love my rosé. Every now and then I love my Sauvignon Blanc. But sometimes you just need to keep the carb count lower. Sometimes you ain't got enough calories in your day, but you still need something to take the edge off. And that's where the tequila sodas and the vodka sodas come in. So I'm enjoying that right now. I do have this, I was gonna cover this before I started filming, but whatever. I have this rash on my arm. I have like a metal allergy, so if I wear really cheap jewelry and it's like hot outside, I tend to sweat and then I get like a rash. Isn't that really cute? So that's what happened. I wore like a really cheap watch and this was my reward for wearing that watch. So just FYI, if anyone's like, what the hell is on your arm? That's that. Let's just like get it all out now. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. I have my comments pulled up and marked from where I stopped last time. So the first question is from Tiffany, and she says, what are some of your favorite go-to keto dinners? I sort of kind of mentioned this in the last video. I forget what the question was. I think it was like, what are your top 3, I think it was like, what were your top 3 keto meals or something like that. But some of my favorites, we are breakfast for dinner people. So I have no issue eating eggs, an egg bake, bacon, sausage, anything like that for dinner. Other things that I make frequently, I mentioned in the previous Q&A, that Mexican bake. We do wings a lot, just baked chicken, whether it's, you know, like caprese baked chicken with tomatoes and basil and mozzarella, or like the green chili chicken that everyone has probably seen everywhere by now. I feel like on Pinterest, when you type in keto recipes, like 7 recipes pop up in like the immediate search results that's like green chili chicken bake, chili chicken, green chili, cream cheese, mozzarella. Like that is like the main recipe, but I do enjoy that. I've also been making frequently it's like a lasagna bake, but with no noodles. And it doesn't even have zucchini in it. It's just like ground beef, marinara, mozzarella, Parmesan, tomatoes, and it's so, so good. So those are kind of some of my go-tos. I do really like to do things like casseroles and bakes because number 1, it's really good for leftovers, and number 2, it's easy. I've also been taking advantage of my Instant Pot a lot lately, and I think that if you are doing keto, Instant Pot is something that you need in your life based on how much meat we eat on the ketogenic diet. It's a quick and easy way to cook, and I have been loving it. So Morgan says, what is the most amazing place you've ever traveled to and why? I haven't been to many places outside of the US. Not Not that, I mean, there are plenty of places in the US that I'm sure are amazing places to travel to, but I would say the most amazing would probably be the Eastern Caribbean. We went on an Eastern Caribbean cruise about 5 years ago, and my whole family plus Cernan, and it was A, the most fun, and B, just the most beautiful. So we went to Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Martin, and St. Croix, I believe. We did zip lining, we did like a ropes course thing, like an adventure course. We like drank the best drinks. We like went to the coolest beaches that just had like little tiki drink huts, and you could just get a drink and then go like wade out in the super calm, super clear water. It was just the most fun trip I think that we've ever been on. I mean, for us, vacations are always fun, but a cruise is like our jam. We love going on cruises. It just makes things a lot easier. You know, everything is there, everything's inclusive. So I feel like you get to enjoy the scenery and the places that you're going to a little bit more. You don't have to plan like, we're gonna eat here, we're gonna eat there, here's what we have to do, because the cruise part kind of takes care of that. So I would say that's definitely the most amazing and most beautiful place I've ever traveled is the Eastern Caribbean. Okay, Leslie asks, this was actually, Leslie was the winner of this giveaway. She asked, based on your experience, what are the best benefits of following a keto diet? So for me, I feel like the benefits of following a keto diet is you are never hungry. Like, I don't wanna say you never crave anything that you shouldn't be eating. That's not necessarily true, but you're never hungry. Like, it's a high fat diet, so you're always satiated, you're always full. So that is one thing that I think is a great benefit. The other thing is the energy and mental clarity I have since starting keto. I just feel like my brain is functioning better. I think a lot clearer, and I just have more energy. I am with a toddler all day long. I work really early in the morning, and it's really important for me to get good sleep, which I'm still working on. I'm working on trying to go to bed earlier, but also to have that like mental sharpness and to have all of that energy. So for me, those are the top two. The fact that you're never starving, and that you just think clearer, feel clearer, have more energy. So Yvette says, what specific foods do you recommend to drop weight fast or get your body into a fat burning state the quickest or easiest? Now, I'm not a keto expert, so I don't necessarily know foods that would get your body into a fat burning state the quickest. But what I will say is I don't stall when I eat processed keto foods, when I eat the bars, the tortillas, you know, the low carb candy, stuff like that. I don't stall. I still continue to lose, but I lose a heck of a lot faster if I'm not eating that stuff. So I guess that would be my answer to that, is to kind of, you know, steer clear of those foods and focus more on like whole foods, your meats, your keto friendly vegetables, you know, your cheese. Again, everyone's body is different, but I definitely see results faster when I'm not eating the processed keto food. Diane says, is your fridge fixed yet? No, Diane, it is not. It is not fixed yet. We have somebody coming in 3 days, so cross your fingers for me. Beth says, has your husband always been on board with keto? Yes, he's always been on board, never a question. He also didn't know what it was when I first brought it up to him, but we were both, you know, I've mentioned before, in that kind of health / diet / lifestyle rut, and we were willing to kind of do anything. So he was like game for whatever, and I think especially once he found out like what you could actually eat on keto, he was even more willing to join in. Okay, Shauna says, if you only had one grocery store to do all of your keto shopping, which would it be? Also, have you thought about getting a pressure cooker? Well, we answered the pressure cooker question. I have an Instant Pot and I'm obsessed. I love it. If I only had one grocery store, I would probably pick Trader Joe's. I would be sacrificing a bit because there are definitely items that I get at Walmart that are keto that I can't get at Trader Joe's, or that I get at Target that I can't get at Trader Joe's, like the Too Good yogurt or low carb tortillas. But I love Trader Joe's too much to not say that that would be the only store that I would shop at. They have enough options that it would work for me. Elizabeth says, what is your keto goal weight? This is a tough one because I don't have a particular weight, because I don't remember the time I was the weight that I'm at now. So it's not like I can say, oh, I have to get to this weight. I want to get to this weight, because I know what I looked like. I know how I felt at that particular weight. Right now, I weighed in this morning. I sit at 139.8, and in my head, I'm kind of like, I would like to lose maybe 5 more pounds and just see where I stand with that, but I'm really happy with my weight right now. I don't want to say like I don't want to lose any more weight, but I'm definitely not gonna get frustrated if I have like a stall, or you know, I just don't see pounds falling off, because I'm really content. I'm really happy. My clothes fit great. I've dropped a size. And I'm really proud of myself. So I kind of feel like right now I'm sort of on cruise control. I ain't gonna be mad if the scale is a little bit lower, but I'm also not gonna be mad if I sit within the like 138, 139 range for a little bit. All right, Rosa says, do you have a full-time job in addition to doing YouTube? So I don't have a full-time job, but I have a part-time job. And part-time, I teach English to kids in China. So my hours that I work are in the Monday through Friday mornings. I work from, when is my first class? 4:20 in the morning until 6:10. Is that right? Yeah, 4:20 to 6:10. And then I work Friday and Saturday nights from 5:40 to 8:50. Yes, 5:40 to 8:50. Sorry, I had to calculate that. So it's extremely part-time, but honestly, I love doing it. I have a teaching background, so it like fits me to a T. It's really, really flexible. I can be a mom. I can stay home with Daisy all day, but also bring in a little bit of money. And it's just fun. It's really fun. Kids in China are very eager to learn English, and it shows. They just get so excited. Their faces light up. They're like in it to win it, and it's just a really cool job. I've been doing that for a year in August. Mario lately says, as Daisy gets older, do you plan on transitioning her to keto? Just curious, love your channel. Thanks, Mario. Not necessarily. I'm not against it, but I don't have it in my head like, oh, you know, once she hits like 4, she's gonna be keto. A personal goal of mine is to phase out some more of the processed foods that she eats. I try to feed her whole foods, but she's also a toddler. She likes the fruit snacks, she likes the bars, and to be completely honest, it's easy. I was always the mom that was like, I'm not buying all this processed stuff, I'm not feeding her crackers, I'm not getting bars and fruit snacks and goldfish and chips and XYZ, but guess what? The reality is that sometimes you need those quick, fast snacks, and she likes them. So for now, no. But that is on my radar. It's something that I am like slowly but surely working towards, is phasing out some of those processed things. And I think in terms of transitioning her to keto, I don't see myself being like, she's gonna do a keto diet, let's transition her. But I can see where if I were to phase out all that processed food and just really feed her more whole things, I could see where she would pretty much be eating keto. She loves cheese, she loves eggs, she likes meat. So I wouldn't make like that conscious effort to be like, you're doing keto, but it could just happen, you know, by chance. Julie says, how many languages do you speak? Just one, just English. I took 8 years of Spanish, and I can definitely get by. I can pick up on conversations here and there, which is really helpful since we're in San Diego, which has a big Spanish-speaking population, but I would not be able to carry on a full conversation with someone. Heather said, new sub. You said China. Are you located in China? No, I'm not. I'm sure the video that you caught when I said China, or maybe I said it in this video, I was referring to teaching. Tammy says, I have a question that I feel I should already know the answer to, but have no clue, LOL. What is that green hedge thing in your kitchen? I'm surprised more people don't ask that question. So that green hedge thing is actually a bottle drying rack. I got it I think I got it at my baby shower before I had Daisy, and it's really good for drying bottles because it has like those prongs, so when you put the bottle on it, it can really like aerate. And then it has the little tree sticks so that you can put like the bottle nipples and like the, you know, the little like thing that you tighten around like the nipple so that it secures to the bottle. And I just really like it. It's just handy. Aesthetically, I really like the look of it. It's kind of like modern, which is my vibe. And it dries things really well because the air can get through the bottom and up into the cups. So I still hand wash a lot of her cups, her sippy cups with straws, and I always dry them on that rack. Okay, so Kelly says, my little one isn't really a picky eater. She just doesn't want to eat anything unless it's apples or grapes, and even then she doesn't always eat them. She isn't even a chicken nugget lover. I bought the special organic dinosaur ones with all the good vitamins in them, and nope. How would you approach something like this? I was raised to eat all of my food no matter what. Now I have issues with food. Second, what do you think of higher protein? Okay, so in terms of your kid not wanting to eat anything, unfortunately, that's just like a normal toddler thing. Daisy kind of went through a stretch there for a while where she was just not into like anything, and when she was into something, she was obsessed with it, and it was the only thing she wanted to eat. So it's a totally normal, if you Google it, it's a completely normal like toddler phase. So my personal suggestion is to consistently buy new things. Like if you see something at the store that she's never had before, and you think she might show some interest, or maybe you're not even sure if she'd be interested, buy it. Just buy, I don't mean like go crazy and buy a whole second, you know, load of groceries so that she can try all these new things, but it's important for kids to be open and willing to try new food, and the only way that they can do that is if we buy it for them. So I do that for Daisy all of the time. Actually, just last week, I was at grocery outlet with my mom, and I saw that they had like organic, it was like an organic freezer meal for kids. Ingredients were like on point, and it was a beef stew. And I was like, I have no idea if she's gonna eat this, but you know what, we're gonna try it. She ate 3/4 of the thing. So it just, you never really know, especially if they're in this phase, if they're gonna like it or not, but the only way you will know is if you try. In terms of, you said you were raised to eat all your food no matter what, now you have issues. I am not a food pusher. Daisy, when I was growing up, we were allowed to take a no thank you bite, which meant if we got our dinner in front of us and there was something where we were like, I don't want that, or maybe we already had tasted it before and we knew we didn't like it, we had to take one bite and then we could say no thank you. So I was not raised that way to like clear my plate, and I don't raise Daisy that way either. The other question she asked was, what do you think of higher protein? To be honest, I don't really think, I'm kind of indifferent. I know Nacine over at Keto Mama right now is doing the higher protein keto. So if you're interested in that, I'll link her channel below. But I don't know. I think people do it because like when they see a stall, just to kind of change things up. But I don't know, I would have to look more into it. All right, Erin Does the Keto said, she asked a couple questions that were already answered, but then she said, when are you coming to Alabama to hang out? When you tell me I can. That's my answer to that. I will tell you one thing. Do not tell me that like I can come visit you somewhere if you don't want me there, because I am always down for a vacay. I am always down for an airplane ride. So don't offer it if you don't want me showing up at your door. So Erin, you might want to like rethink. If that doesn't sound good to you, you might want to like rescind your question, rescind your comment. Okay, Jennifer asked many a question, a couple that have already been answered, but one that she asked that I haven't talked about is, have you ever tried the stevia soda drinks? How do they taste? Would you recommend them? Yes, I have tried stevia soda, mainly the Zevia. They also have the Virgil's root beer. They do I think they use like erythritol soda. I personally like them. It's definitely, I think people have a love-hate relationship with those. Some people think that there's kind of a stevia aftertaste. I don't really find that to be the case. Does it taste like Diet Coke? No, but because it's not Diet Coke and it's better for you. Y'all know I love me a good Diet Coke every now and then. But if you're someone that really is trying to kick the soda habit, I think it's a good idea to buy the stevia soda. And you know, I don't know, if you're drinking like 3 cans of Diet Coke a day, maybe try to drink 2 cans and then 1 Zevia, or you know, kind of try to like phase it out. I think it would be really hard to be like a crazy Diet Coke drinker and then just switch to the Zevia or any other stevia soda, because the taste is a lot different. That being said, it's so much better for you. So for me, I would recommend them 10 out of 10. All right, Rocio asked a couple questions. Some I have answered. One she asked though is, where does your hubby's name come from? I have never heard it. Many people haven't. So when I first met Cernan, I was thinking his name was like a traditional Filipino name, like an old school Filipino name. I didn't know. I just thought maybe it was like a cultural thing. And no, that's not the case. So his dad's name is Servillano and his mom's name is Nancy. So they took the Sir and the Nan and they put it together and made Cernan. I think it's really cool because it's a unique name, but he's never met another Cernan. But when we go anywhere and they ask for a name, you know, if it's like for like a reservation or we have to put our name down, it's always Ashley. And then whenever he goes to Starbucks, he's always John or Bob, because it's just so much work to like say your name, spell it, and then somebody mispronounce it, you know, like have a barista mispronounce it at the bar. So, you know, in everyday life, he is Cernan. At Starbucks or any and all restaurants, he is Bob, John, or Ashley. Rocio also says, where do you live? I love knowing what state YouTubers that I follow live. Not sure why. Like I said, I'm in the San Diego area in California. We are all the way down at the bottom of California, in case you were unaware. I like to say we live in Mexico, but we're very fortunate to live in this city. Jennifer said, do you have a favorite keto salad dressing? No, we don't eat salad enough for me to have like a favorite dressing. I always just get like a low carb Caesar or a really low carb ranch. I'm boring. I do really like blue cheese. Actually, that's a lie. One of my favorite dressings is the Trader Joe's blue cheese. It comes in like a jar with a twist lid. It is amazing. The creamiest, thickest, chunkiest blue cheese dressing you will ever try in your life. Cassandra said, how do you stay on track with keto when there's so many temptations? It's hard for me not to cheat when I go out with friends or coworkers. For sure. I feel like that's the hardest part, is when you go out, right? Because I just don't keep food in the house that I know is really gonna tempt me. You know, I have snacks for Daisy and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, those sound really good right now, but they're not tempting enough for me to go eat them. When it comes to going out, I just feel like that's so hard. I always try to get some type of keto-friendly food with everyone else, whether that's wings or a salad that I can edit down to make keto. It's tricky, and it is tempting when there's chips and fried stuff and everything. But one thing that I really do like with keto is if I have been on it, and I'm talking like on it, for an extended period of time, I don't even want that stuff. It almost becomes like just not tempting to me at all, because my body just doesn't want it. It's not craving it because it hasn't had it in so long. So the longer that I go without a cheat meal, the more I'm able to resist those things. That being said, we always have like one cheat meal a week because I need it for like my own sanity. All right, so the last question I'm gonna answer is from Nicole, and she says, as someone who currently has a brother-in-law teaching English in China, I was curious about what led you to teaching yourself. Thanks. So we already talked about how I really like the flexibility, kind of how my hours work, but in terms of what led me to teaching, I was missing that part of my life. It's kind of all I've ever done. I've always worked with kids. I've worked retail and stuff in the past eons ago, but I was a nanny for 13 years. I kind of had my own like tutoring, not business, but I was doing a lot of tutoring in Seattle right before we moved. And then I also worked at an elementary school for 3 or 4 years. I can never remember if it's 3 or 4. 3 or 4 years, I worked in special ed, specifically with kids on the autism spectrum, and that involved a lot of like behavioral work on my part, but also a lot of teaching. I also would teach small groups, so I would do pullouts for kids that were lower in academic areas, like maybe they were in 3rd grade, but they were you know, working at like a 1st grade math level. I would do pullouts and teach a small group math, writing, reading, social skills. So I was just missing that, and I toyed with maybe becoming like getting my substitute, they don't call it a credential, but like my substitute certificate, so that I could substitute teach around San Diego, but it just wasn't gonna work with being a stay-at-home mom. And Cernan was online one day, he saw this posting for Q Kids, which is the company that I work for, and I applied. It was a pretty intense application process, and I got the job. It'll be a year in August that I've been there, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It scratches that itch of me wanting to work with kids, but more specifically in like an academic arena, and it's just the best. It doesn't hurt also that it's extra money at the end of the month. You know, that for us was kind of twofold. Like, I wanted to do it for just my own sanity, my own, you know, desire to work with kids again, but also it's icing on the cake in terms of our finances, and that check allows us to, you know, take, you know, little staycations or maybe go out to eat more often than we would, and it's just been like a real blessing, and I love it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for part 2. There's definitely gonna be a part 3. I think we might be able to get away with the part 3, and then that's it. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop me a comment down below. Y'all know it's my hangout. I love being in that comment section, liking comments, loving comments, responding. So definitely drop me one down below, and I'll catch y'all in my next one. Bye, friends.